We're making tacos today. It's Taco Tuesday, and we're doing veggie tacos. There we go. Okay, so these are sheet pan veggie tacos, and this is the tale of two sheet pans. So I wanted to show you all how I set up these sheet pans, because what I have on these sheet pans cooks very, very differently. I need a sheet pan set up for my root veggies, and then I need one set up for the more quick cooking vegetables, and also the ones that have a little more liquid in them. So I put carrots and sweet potatoes, just because that's what I had, on this sheet pan with some onion. And then on this sheet pan, I have what's going to end up being this kind of crunchy, kind of soft mixture of things that are almost going to become like a topping for the taco. So if you will, this is sort of the meat of the taco, and then this is going to be more of like a topping. So what I've got on here are vegetables that create a little more water, things like tomatoes, bell pepper, the onions, and then I've got frozen corn that's thawed a little bit, and then black beans. And what's going to happen with those is they're actually going to cook really well and get kind of crispy, which is kind of fun. But I need to go ahead and get this one in the oven, because I'm going to bake this one for real and eat it in front of you all for real. So let me move this one out of the way. And what I want to do is, first of all, let's take a look at this for those of you all who like color order and things like that. That sheet pan's for you, but it's about to go away because I'm going to mix it all up. So what I want to put on here is our garlic jalapeno olive oil and our Taco Tuesday blend. So let me get that drizzled all around. I did a few little cherry tomatoes. Those are really going to give off some water. Your bell pepper will as well. And then, it'll all dry up in the oven. And I've got it on a ridiculously hot oven. I've got it on 450 degrees, and I've got it on convection because I want some air moving around, and I want it really, really hot. And you might have to pull the sheet pan and stir things, but you want to get a really hot oven going. Okay, so Taco Tuesday goes on. Taco Tuesday is blended by my friend Tracy Juliet. She lives here in Baton Rouge, and she is a chef, and she teaches classes at our shop. And she is also, oh, hey, Paula, thank you. She also blends spices for us. So Taco Tuesday is her creation. It smells wonderful, lots of cumin. It's pretty spicy, but it is absolutely delicious. And it is just the thing for today, or really any day, not just Tuesday. But here we go. So these all get mixed up. And a little bit that you need to know about your sheet pan is it's going to be hotter on the edges than it is going to be in the center. So let's see if I can do, there we go. So you want to make sure you don't mix things and then mound them in the center. That's no good. So you want to make sure you mix them, and this is glistening with oil, and it's got all the spice blend all over it. And then you want to make sure you spread evenly, and that you take advantage of the edges. The edges are the hottest part of the sheet pan. So you want to make sure you take advantage of that and get it even, and you can always pull it out and redistribute halfway through. We want to make sure that it's even and there's not too much overlapping. And then that goes into that very, very hot oven. So let me wipe my hands, go back there, and in the oven that goes. My oven's on today and it's noisy if you hear that noise, but in the oven it goes. So hot oven, convection if you have it, and I'm putting it lower in the oven than usual. So I just want to take full advantage of what the oven has to offer in terms of where that heat comes from and how that heat is distributed. Okay, so now we're going to move on to all the accoutrements. So I love all these little quick fixings for tacos. It's great because hello from Green Bay. It's great because these are things that can live in the fridge and be used for other lunches, other meals. And that's what I love about this. So I'm going to do a quick pickled onion, but I also have some radishes from my farm box. I'm not a huge fan of radishes unless they're pickled. Me and my friend Jamie met up at the farm stand Saturday, and we were talking about this. We both got radishes and turnips, and I was like, oh, radishes and turnips. And she was like, pickle them. And I was like, that's a great idea. So this is not my first rodeo, so I didn't dare use this mandolin on camera with tiny little radishes. I did that before you guys got here. This is if you have a mandolin, you know this is a lethal weapon. And so you just need to be really careful with it and use a guard or make sure you stop well before you get to your fingers. But I've got my radishes. There's just a few turnips in here, and then I'm going to do some red onion. So, and that makes a thin little slice, perfect for pickling. And looks like I'm losing internet with you guys. And I am going to get those in my jar and then get my brine on top of that. Okay, so my brine is a half a cup of distilled vinegar, a half a cup of balsamic vinegar, sugar and salt, teaspoon of sugar, teaspoon of salt. That's it. So the thinking behind the balsamic vinegar is some sweetness. So I don't use all distilled vinegar. I use some balsamic. You could use a white wine vinegar or a red wine vinegar, just something, or sherry vinegar, just something sweet. All right, so I'm going to get my brine on top of here. And that's it. Now we are not water canning or pressure canning, so you want to make sure that these are fridge pickles, and they need to, hey Mary, good afternoon, and they need to live in the fridge. So get those moved around. Oh, Mary's favorite are the pickled onions. Okay, so just let those sit and do their thing, go in the fridge, and then these are available to you for salads, for sandwiches, for on top of a piece of fish, on and on and on. We have a Peruvian spatchcock chicken that we do, and it's lovely with that chicken. Okay, so I am going to move on to the next topping. Let's see. So I'm going to make a cilantro sauce, and it is as simple as dumping a few ingredients in the Vitamix, and that's it. It makes a beautiful creamy cilantro sauce. So I've got in my Vitamix my cilantro, a nice big bunch of cilantro. I need a jalapeno. So I'm going to do membrane, seeds, and all. It's got a good bit of fat in this recipe, so I'm fine with the heat. Hey, Jennifer. I'm fine with the heat from the seeds and membranes. So I'm just going to chop off the stem, and then just to give the Vitamix a little head start, I'm going to just cut that in a few pieces. And I will be reminded of that later when I take out my contacts. Okay, that. So I've got my jalapeno in there. I need a garlic clove. I would give that a rough chop. In goes the garlic. I've got about the juice of half a lime. It's 2.5 teaspoons, so do a juice of half of a lime. That goes in there, and I need lime again for my salsa, so I will hold on to my juicer, but I've got that lime in there. And then I need mayo, and we're going to do a little bit of salt and our mayo, and that is it. And then that gets zhuzhed around, and that is our cilantro sauce. Okay. We've got salt that needs to go in there. And then I need my lid, and I'm going to make loud noises, and that will be our cilantro sauce. So Mary asked about yogurt instead of mayo. I don't see why not. You're going to end up with a tangier sauce. And look, it acts like it's not going to ever come together, like there's not enough liquid in there. And you can put a few drops of water if it makes you nervous, but it does come together. That water will release from cilantro and that little bit of lime juice in there. So you can certainly add some water if you think you need to. Where'd my spatula go? But it will eventually come together. Trust me. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I've got big pieces of jalapeno in here that still haven't done their thing. So I'm gonna have to turn it back on. It smells like, and look, I know not all of us are team cilantro, and a lot of us are like, why don't you just give me a bar of soap, Anne? But I love cilantro. So if you love cilantro, you will love this sauce. Okay, let's see if I can get this going again. There we go. Big loud noises. All right, so gorgeous. So it's like bright, vibrant green. It smells amazing. I need to taste it to make sure I did a good job. Might need some salt, maybe more lime, but typically this thing is spot on. And it is. That is pretty amazing. Ooh, it's spicy. Okay, delicious. Let's get that. Holy moly, that's spicy. Okay. Get that in here and put a cap on it. Lives in the fridge, does its thing in the fridge. That is, again, excellent on our Peruvian spatchcock chicken. Really, really yummy. A great thing. You could use this as a salad dressing. Whisk some vinegar into that. Becomes a salad dressing. Really, really delicious. Okay, let me move my mess here. And let's see, so that is ready to go. We get a clean spoon for that for later. Drips on the edge and all. All right, let's get this Vitamix tucked away here because then I need to move in my next piece of equipment, which is one of my favorites, my handy food processor. We can do it, don't worry. Okay, so, clean my mess. All right. Get all this out of the way. I also want to check my sheet pan. So, let me get that cleaned up. Okay. All right. So, let me take a peek at this sheet pan, see how it's doing. Oh my goodness. So it's sizzling. Our tomatoes have given up and they're shriveled and they look amazing. And we're going to give that a stir. Whoops. Hit the floor. All right. And now we're going to go back in the oven with those. Again, remember to take advantage of all the edges and get them evenly spread out, not a big pile in the middle. Make use of what that sheet pan is capable of doing, that heat on the edges. And we're going to go back in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to hop off and I'm going to hop back on. I don't even know if you guys are still there, but I'm going to hop off and hop back on because I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, am I still there? Okay, I think I'm still live. Mary, I'm reading about your dogs who will come over and clean up the floor for me. So it looks like you guys saw that bell pepper hit the floor. All right, I'm going to carry on. Am I talking to no one or I'm talking to people? I'm still there. Thank you, Jennifer. So, gorgeous, smells amazing. Those black beans have also popped open from the heat. I want more browning on this, though. I want it to be golden brown and delicious and have a few little crispies. So we're going to go back in the oven. All right. So I did a pan of sweet potatoes and carrots earlier because those take longer to cook. So that's another reason for the story of the two sheet pans. You need one that's the longer cooking sheet pan and one that's the shorter cooking sheet pan. So we wouldn't have had enough time. Those carrots cooked for more like 35 minutes. And of course, you could help that along by cutting them smaller. But I do want to talk about what I did with that sheet pan. So because of that longer cooking time, these onions do cook to smithereens. They get crispy like onion rings. It's amazing. So what I did with this sheet pan was, again, the same seasoning. So I did, oh, look, I'm doing it now. Okay, so I did the garlic jalapeno olive oil and the Taco Tuesday from Tracy. Super delicious. And those spices in a taco seasoning. So when you think about a taco seasoning and you think about, oops, is that better? When you think about, oh, look, I was just pouring oil. Taco seasoning. When you think about paprika and chilies, they love sweet root vegetables. Those two want to go on a date. So a taco seasoning, our dark La Mesa chili powder on sweet potatoes. What? We do these spiralized sweet potatoes and then dark La Mesa and we bake them until they're crispy. Forget it. So good. Okay, so where'd my Taco Tuesday go? Here it is. So sweet potatoes, carrots, cut kind of large. I want a meaty bite. I want to think about, also my cuts, I want to think about the perfect bite. So a taco, you have to get the perfect bite. You have to get all the things in the bite. So I want to cut them so that they're not falling off of the tortilla. You don't want them too big, but you want a nice meaty bite. That's also easy and not everything's going to fall off. Although, of course, when I eat in front of y'all in a minute, it's all going to fall out. All right, so Taco Tuesday going on there, and I'll bake these up for Greg for later. Any leftovers, this is going on a salad the next day, or put it as a base for like a piece of grilled chicken or some fish or some shrimp, if there are any leftovers. But super, super delicious. So again, I'm gonna stir these around with my hands, and that goes in the oven, and I would say, yeah, it was around 30, 35 minutes. I pulled them out twice to stir them and make sure I was taking advantage of that heat, that extra hot part on the edges and not mounding it up in the center. So be sure to take advantage of the whole sheet pan. Another thing that comes up a lot with sheet pan suppers is to parchment or not to parchment. So here's how I feel about it. Hang on. I know what I'm doing. Boop. How's that? That's good. So the Maillard reaction, that's where sugars caramelize and turn things brown. We love the Maillard reaction. We like brown and crispy food. So my feeling is that that the parchment is a hindrance. So I like the food to be touching the metal for that to happen. You could foil line this. If this bothers you to have to clean this up, you could totally foil line it. But I don't use parchment when I'm really looking for something to get browned. I'm more likely to use parchment if I'm doing a salmon sheet pan. And I want it to bake a little more gently and maybe not caramelize so much. So that would be my answer on whether or not to use parchment. Parchment is great, and it's a big help in the kitchen. But it's not your friend if you want things to get brown and crispy. So I'm just going to set these aside, but that is ready to go. They're glistening with oil. The seasoning is all over the place. I've got them nice and even, and that is ready for the oven. Okay. Here I am doing it. Okay, that goes out of the way. Salsa. I love this salsa. It uses pantry ingredients. It's from Pioneer Woman. It uses pantry ingredients, and it's a restaurant style salsa. So it's not a chunky salsa. It's fairly smooth, and it makes a ton. It makes a big bowl of salsa. So you are all set for the week. So let me find my cheat sheet. All right. So it's a can of whole peeled tomato. Here's what I already have in here. Cilantro people, sorry. Sorry for you guys that don't like cilantro. There's a whole bunch of cilantro in here. I need whole peeled tomatoes, so this goes in. I need a can of Rotel. I didn't have Rotel, so I'm going to make up for that spiciness using the seeds and membranes of the jalapeno. So I just have diced tomatoes. So I just need 1 can of Rotel, so that would be the equivalent of half of this big 28-ounce can. So I'm going to go in with half of that. Close enough. Okay, I need onion and garlic. So about a 1/4 cup of onion, so probably a 1/4 of a large onion, and a clove of garlic goes in there. Salt and sugar, about a teaspoon of each, goes in there. And all of this is on our website. Look, let's look at that. All of this is on our website. So easy peasy to find there. I need something cumin or something that's cumin rich. So either grab the cumin, ground cumin from your cabinet, or I'm using cumin spice rub, which is cumin rich, really delicious. I love this blend. This is a great Taco Tuesday blend. So as you can see, it's more like oniony and garlicky versus like a paprika base, like a red taco seasoning. Really rich in flavor. My friend Walter in New Jersey blends this for us, and he does a great job. This is a beautiful blend, and I love it on all sorts of things. I'll do shrimp skewers with this. I'll do chicken is wonderful with this. But it's also great for when you're looking for that flavor in like a pot of black beans or, gosh, even lentils, it would be good. So in goes the Cuban spice rub. I need my jalapeno in here. So again, I didn't have that Rotel, so I'm going to use the seeds and membranes from the jalapeno, which is hysterical for me because when it's too spicy, I want to die. Like, I start crying. All right, so I'm just going to help my food processor along, give that a cut. And again, I'm going to regret this later when I go to take my contacts out. So that is in there. What have I forgotten? I've got my onion, I've got my garlic, I've got my tomatoes, I've got my jalapeno, I've got my cumin, salt and sugar, lime. So half a lime. You could certainly do more lime if you like it, like more lime, but there's no acid in this from like vinegar, which is wonderful in salsas, but I thought this was a really interesting salsa. So in goes the lime, and this is about to make a literal ton of salsa. All right, I'm gonna take a peek at my sheet pan again. Sorry for the loud noises. All right, let's see. Yeah, so all sorts of good stuff is happening here. So as you are working with a sheet pan supper and things are not getting brown, it's cooking but it's not getting brown, you need to add fat to the pan. So I'm going to hit this with a little bit of fat, and I'm just going to let the residual heat from the sheet pan finish doing its thing. But our, let's see, our bell peppers have, ooh, they've got beautiful browning on them. Yay! I can feel the lightness as I move it from the corn and black beans, you know, really cooking and really getting dry. It feels light as I move it around. But I'm going to get it redistributed, and I've got a little bit of residual heat from the food and from the pan. And I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of fat. And then that'll be ready. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a topping for the taco. I mean, certainly delicious on its own, but it's going to be a great accompaniment. all the textures, all the flavors on top of the sweet root vegetables, those sweet potatoes and carrots. All right. You move this out of the way and let's make some salsa. A lot today, you guys. I'm doing so good. Okay. Whoop. Whoops, I just missed that comment. I'm so sorry. Okay. Lid on. Locked in. Yay, I did it. Come on, y'all. Absolutely gorgeous. Looks like my internet connection is not cooperating again. Let's taste it. Stop. So good. Oh my God. Y'all, it's so good. Holy moly. Can you see it? My technology is not working today. Oh well. I'm just gonna plow forward and eat a taco. That is good stuff. All right, I've got a really big bowl for this. All right, here we go. Let me move all my stuff out of the way. That is so good. Shoot. Come on now. That was fast to make that salsa. We can do that, right? You probably have the ingredients you may have the ingredients in your pantry. Okay. Oop. Oh, thanks, Jen. Okay. Here we go. Big bowl. We've got our chips. Let me turn this guy off. There's a lot of racket. All right. In goes. Oh, hey, Dana. Oh, she made the cilantro sauce with yogurt, and she said it was perfect. We've got salsa. We've got cilantro sauce. We've got pickled onions. Technology is not my friend today. Can you guys see? Am I making a beautiful tablescape here, or what? All right, we've got chips, we've got salsa, we've got cilantro sauce, we've got pickled onions. I'm gonna make a taco. All right, so I've got my plate with my taco shells, and then I am going to, oh, let me show you these guys. So here are my, oh boy, it's not working. All right. Sweet potatoes and carrots and onions. Onions are crispy like onion rings. Stop it. So good. And the carrots and sweet potatoes are soft. They are just glorious, and I can't wait to make a taco. So that's how they ended up. Let me see if I can get, there we go. What? Yeah, that, if you don't stand there and eat that off the pan, I don't know what to say. All right, let me do this. Okay. Y'all, not our best day for technology, but let's eat a taco. All right, so I've got sweet potatoes and carrots. I've got this deliciousness that goes on top. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a huge mess when I take a bite of this. I want some pickled onions. Uh-oh, let me zoom out. Uh-oh, pickled onions. What? And radishes. Is that better? I don't know what's happening. All right, let me get a spoon. Let's do some salsa. I'm just gonna do all the things. Cilantro sauce. What? That is gonna be the perfect bite. cilantro sauce is creamy. I love that pickled bite in there. The carrots and sweet potatoes are meaty and have a great chew to them. I'm getting crunch from corn and black beans I cooked to smithereens. And then those crunchy onions. What? So good. Let me take another bite. Oh my gosh. Terrible manners and I don't care. This was fun. We record these. We clean them all up. They live on Facebook. They live on our website. So even if this was a struggle watching right now, you can go back and watch them after they've been edited. Super fun. We also did this one on a podcast episode that you want to go back to Smidgen, to season 1. Me and Sarah cooked these up. So much fun. We had a blast. This is super fun for me, you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm making cookies. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Be safe. Love you guys. Bye.